I love the Mario & Luigi series. It's my favorite RPG series of all time. It's creative, it's wacky, it's fun, and so much more. And when I heard the rumor that there could be a 3DS remake of Superstar Saga, I got excited. Superstar Saga, the first game in the series, is in my opinion the most creative. I mean, there's a few new races, enemy designs are really strange, and pretty much every character is unique and memorable. But is this game perfect? No, of course it isn't. There's a lot of things that could make this game so much better, so I came up with a list to show 10 plus things I want to see in a remake of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. I'm going to start by talking about some things that appear in later entries of the games that weren't in Superstar Saga. First off, I want the return of the Dash Socks. The Dash Socks were introduced in the latest game in the series, Paper Jam. By holding down the X button, you could build up a running speed. It would be really convenient to be able to run whenever you wanted, as sometimes it feels like you are going pretty slow. I see this being kind of like the running shoes in the Pokemon series. In all of the remakes, Game Freak added the shoes in so that you could get around faster. The Bros attacks in Superstar Saga are pretty hard to master, but you're gonna have to use up your limited supply of syrups testing these moves, and trying to figure them out. So I'd like to see tutorials of the Bros attacks, like we have in the newer games. The Bros attacks are a lot harder, and thus more satisfying to pull off in Superstar Saga, so it'd be nice to practice them whenever you wanted to. I don't know if you knew this, but Superstar Saga actually came out in America before Japan. There are a few bugs fixed, as well as a few new changes and features in the Japanese version, and one of these is something that reappeared in Partners in Time and Paper Jam, and that's a recovery block. It also appeared in Bowser's Inside Story as orange hemoglobins. Hitting the block will restore all of your HP and your BP. However, in all of the games but Paper Jam, they rarely appear, maybe only once or twice. I'd like to see the recovery blocks return all over the Bean Bean Kingdom. Possible locations for these would be before boss fights, in Bean Bean Castle Town, Hoo Hoo Village, and Little Fungi Town. Alternatively, they could take the Paper Jam route and just use it to replace save blocks. A small feature I'd like to see return is the sound test, where you can listen to all of the music in the game and possibly a few sound effects, like we've had since Dream Team. I know it's not much, but I'd like to know all the official names of the songs, as well as be able to listen to them whenever I want to. The credits of Superstar Saga are pretty great, but it's pretty bare. I want the plane ride home to remain in the game, but I'd like to see illustrations of scenes in the game fade on and off the screen like in Partners in Time. Another cool detail they could add would have the land below actually be areas you went to in the game. I think it'd be a great addition and spruce up an already great credits sequence. Moving away from additions and future entries, I want to talk about button layout. The GBA did not feature X and Y buttons, but the 3DS does. In the original, you press the start button to change which bro is in front, but I feel that it would fit better to the X button or the Y button if the Dash Socks return. The start button would become the pause button, and as for the select button, perhaps they could add a map, replacing the confusing ones that are located in some of the areas. Superstar Saga has a great soundtrack, but some of the songs are pretty short. The battle theme, Come On, specifically is very short. Don't get me wrong, I love the battle theme from this game. It's really catchy and perfect for battle, but I wish it was longer. So I'd really like to see some of the shorter songs have new parts added to them to increase the length of the loops. This one is pretty controversial, and I'd be fine if it didn't happen, because I'd love the music regardless. It'd also be cool if there were all new songs for some areas, or if some of the instruments were changed for some of the songs that are only altered versions of other songs, like Agony and Chateau de Shucklehuck. A few small things that would be pretty nice to see would be the ability to skip tutorials, speed up cutscenes, the return of hard mode as well as expert challenges, and a new area dedicated to refighting bosses and challenging your bros attack skills like the challenge node, battle ring, and battle arcade. There are also a few things I'd like to see outside of the game as well. It seems like with every new game there's less and less artwork. Superstar Saga had a ton of artwork, and I'd love to see more. Specifically, I'd like to see them remake these two I'm showing right now. I'd also like a soundtrack CD, so I can listen to all the wonderful songs wherever I go. One change that I'm really worried about is whether EternalLight will keep the designs of some of the enemies and characters in the game. If you don't understand what I'm saying, here is what Dry Bones looks like in this game. I have a feeling that they might replace this design with the more modern design of Dry Bones. And if this were to happen, I'd imagine some other enemies would have their designs altered to fit a more realistic design as well, compared to their cartoony sprites in the original. Let's just hope that this doesn't happen, and everything stays the same. When thinking about this video, I had so much more ideas in my head, but sadly I've forgotten them, so I guess I'll wrap this up. I'd like to see a cool side story or side game, either open from the start or unlocked after beating the game. I couldn't really think of anything, but it seems like this might actually be happening, as shortly after the game itself was rumored, the home menu icon and the name, which is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions, was also rumored. But what is this side game about? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway guys, those were just a few things I'd want to see in a Superstar Saga remake. If this game does exist, I'll probably make a few follow-up videos stating what actually happened and what didn't. One after the reveal and one after I get and finish the game. Do you have anything you'd want to see in the game? Or do you have any ideas on what this Bowser's Minions game could be? Leave a comment. I'd be happy to hear what you all think. I'd also like to make a couple more parts to this video, maybe taking some of your ideas in the comments as inspiration. I've never done a video like this, so it's kind of strange for me to even make. I probably won't do another video like this for a while though, unless it's one of the follow-up videos I mentioned before. Well, thanks for watching, and sayonara!